What's going on, guys? It's John here from Hot Hockey to give you my prediction for the New Jersey Devils for the 2019-2020 opening night roster. So let's get right into it, but please subscribe to the channel and drop a like. I'm going to give you my forward group predictions, my defense, my goaltending, power play, penalty kill, all of that in this video. So let's get right into the forward group. And I see a top line of Hughes, Hall, and Simmons. I think Hughes, yes, he might not be ready, but you need to surround him around good players, and that's just a fact. I think Taylor Hall, he's comfortable with Taylor Hall. He works out with him in the summer. He's reached out to Taylor Hall, and I think Taylor Hall and Hughes could be a very good duo in the future. Hughes with his playmaking abilities. Obviously, Taylor Hall can finish. Wayne Simmons can finish. He's a veteran. He can crash the net. He's physical, so I really like that trio there. Nico Hischier on the second line with Palmieri and Boqvist. Boqvist very underrated. A wicked shot, just in his early 20s. He still has a lot to develop, but I think if he's going to crack this lineup, it's going to be in the top 6 or the top 9 at the very least. And then with Hischier and Palmieri, I think they have a lot of chemistry. Coleman, Zajac, Bratt on the third line. Coleman had a pretty good year with the veterans Zajac and Bratt, who sometimes is inconsistent, but we've seen signs of brilliance from him. And then the fourth line of Wood, that contract might have been a little premature with Zacha and Hayden. Zacha, honestly, we've seen some things from him as well, but he really never became what we thought he would once the Devils drafted him. So I think he could be a trade candidate. If not, he's probably somewhere in the bottom 6. Let's move on to the defense group. Green with Subban. I think Green, if you look at him, he's not what he once was. He always was like a shutdown guy, a defensive reliable guy, but he is a lot slower. Maybe if he's with PK Subban, that could be a good one-off, and he could be very safe in what PK Subban does and try to avoid the bad breaks if turnovers do occur from PK Subban, which sometimes we expect. Butcher with Vatanen, I think that's a very good line. Vatanen, he's an offensive guy. He's not the most explosive, but he's very calm in both the offensive neutral zone. I wouldn't say he's a defensive liability, and he can play both sides. We've seen him on the left-hand D spot, but him with Butcher, I think it allows him to play on the right side. Butcher's still developing. I like that pairing. And then Ty Smith with Severson. I think Damon Severson is a very low-key defenseman, but he's very solid in his own zone, and he has a wicked shot as well. I think with Ty Smith, Devils fans are very excited about him, and if he cracks the lineup over a guy like Carrick and Mueller, I think Devils fans will be very happy about that. So like I said, Carrick's in the wings, as well as Mueller. And then Corey Schneider, that $6 million cap hit. We've called it a cap dump in the past, but as of 2 or 3 years ago, he was arguably a top 10 goaltender. So to turn things around for the next couple of years and try to get back into an above average goalie. And then with Mackenzie Blackwood, I think his ceiling is 25-30 games at the very most, but I would say the ratio is going to be like 61-21 if Corey Schneider can find his game somewhat. So thank you guys for watching this video. I think power play is the obvious names. It's going to be Simmons, Palmieri, Hall, Hughes, Hischier, combination of that in the top unit, and then Subban probably there as your defenseman, and then the second unit with 1 or 2 of those players I just mentioned, as well as like Jesper Bratt or a guy like Zajac, or another one could be like Coleman. And I really don't know. Coleman's probably more that defensive forward who you'll see on the penalty kill. Same with potentially Miles Wood. Zajac I could see being on the penalty kill. I could see even Simmons possibly being on the penalty kill. I don't know if they really want him. He's obviously slowed down. But you know what? I think the Devils are, I wouldn't say they're a wild card like spot team, but they're a wild card team to watch out for. I think this team can make some noise. Yes, there's the concern of Taylor Hall that he could leave after this year, but for right now, the Devils are a team to watch. Obviously, there's still the question mark in goal, and I think for the defense, maybe it's a little too offense, especially if you have a guy like Ty Smith in there as well. Your only defensive defensemen are Green, who, like I said, is slower, and Severson. So the offense, I think, and we're going back to the younger guys in Boqvist, Hughes, Hischier, I think there's a lot of potential there for the offense to make some noise this year, and I think they could be a very underrated power play team. So, again, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Drop a like. Every like counts. Comment your thoughts. Comment your changes on what you do with the lineup. This is John from Hot Hockey. Have a good one. Peace out.